All right, let's talk about fire blight predictions. Should it already be occurring? Is bloom present? Sometimes the models think there is, and you might have a couple open early cultivars that are flowering. So let's take a look at some of the most likely places for that might have open flowers and fire blight pressure. Let's start with Long Island. Looks like NOAA's predicting first blossom open date of 4/19. Seems a little early, but what might end up happening is it could accumulate enough heat hours, degree days, base 43, BE, through the 27th, 359. It's recommending that they're open. Now, what could happen in the real world is these could accumulate a lot of heat hours on the hot days, and the night might slow the trees down when these temperatures drop on the really, really cold days, causing bloom to lag behind in the real world, even though it may have triggered enough heat hours to open on the really, really hot days. I don't think the trees can recover as quickly as the model can accumulate and not accumulate heat hours. So looking down at it for Riverhead, it looks like you're pretty safe on the TRV and the EIP value 77.24. And the only why is it predicting a high level of risk, even with an EIP of 27, it must mean that there is rain and open flowers. There it is, rain and open flowers. Remember, the EIP value can predict different things depending on the different categories. So even with a low EIP, if there's open flowers and rain, it will predict a high. And at the same time, a really high EIP could drop if there's a nighttime cooling temperature, which is one of the other factors that can kick a high or an infection back down to a moderate or low if it occurs. If there's no rain but a high EIP and open flowers and a cold dip at night, it could take something that's really high and move it back down to a low risk area. So something to keep in mind. It's always important to look at both and look at the leaf wetness that Long Island is having. It's cooling back down on Long Island for the rest of the week and should be good to go. Now, however, not every site might be in good health. Let's look at Campbell Hall. And in this particular instance, it's saying you've got open flowers and you're in an extreme risk. We have the full-on fancy language of extreme for the 25th, 26th, 27th, and it will be cooling down. It is actually calling an infection. Good time to have applied strep. If you didn't have strep on and you did have open flowers, it's suggesting a 4/18. If you don't have open flowers, you're fine. But if you did have open flowers in the early cultivar and you missed this, I would recommend as soon as you can get back in there tomorrow morning or tonight, go ahead and apply your streptomycin. And that will also protect you throughout the week, or if you wait on the 28th, throughout the week for that next coming event on May 2nd, which is another really light bump. There was enough water on the 26th to actually call an infection, but if you don't have flowers, you don't have water, you're fine. You can think about these degrees dropping back down some. It's a big dip with the cool weather that came on the 27th, and into the, looks like the 28th is going to also be kind of cool. It will pick back up into the 60s on May 2nd with a slight bump. Both of them aren't calling for an infection, but if you put something on at the start of the week, you might reach back if you had anything creep through. You can get 24 hours with strep. Kickback activity. It's not something that's advised, but it's not something that's going to immediately generate resistant isolates in some kind of strange paranoid manner. So just, do what you have to do, and you're actually will be protecting against the thing that's coming towards the end of the week. The strep lasts a while, and these populations do take a good bit of time to recover, even after 7 days. After a good strep application, I'm finding that they have not ramped back up, even with rain events and other things in the middle. Let's take a look a little bit around in the Hudson Valley. We'll check the Walden site. It's a little bit different. So what is it saying? Same sort of scenario in the infection event now, coming to another one at the end of the week. It's not enough to trigger the cougar blight component, but it is enough to the others. There's just not a lot of leaf wetness hours. So you might want to be careful. Look ahead into the middle of the week and seeing if this May 2nd something is going to warrant an infection. What about Voorheesville? If you had some early cultivars in Voorheesville, what do you look like? You're still fine. We do have some hot weather on April 25th. It's saying bloom is could possibly be happening. But if it's not, you're fine. I wouldn't even fuss with fire blight. I'd save that for later in the season. You have a lot of rain. There's some warm weather. If something was open, something could creep through, but it's going to drop back down again. I don't think this is going to be the devastating fire blight event of the season. Now, if we look ahead, in the Chasey, you should definitely not see any fire blight. We're just going to look at one location. Yeah, bloom cannot possibly have been happening. Now, if you have it, it's some really strange things have occurred. And check Peru just for fun. No, none there. Let's go to the Finger Lakes. I mean, I know outside in my orchards are still sort of a tight cluster, but it's saying that it's accumulated enough heat hours to actually open a flower. Might be one. I really doubt it, but it's really kind of poor weather for fire blight. I wouldn't get worried about these high levels for the TRV and the EIP. They're not high enough, and it's dipping back down. You can see the EIP dropping back down to 0. With the cold weather that we're having today, no need to do anything. Let's go to Williamson. I think we're safe for the rest of everywhere else. Oh yeah, very cold. Says there shouldn't be any open bloom, or just happening. Take a little bit around, nothing. It's all ones, marginal, low infection levels, 0 moderate. The only time an EIP will pop up to moderate with a 0 is because the open flowers kicks it to a moderate risk. So it's something to be worried about. There is rain. The temperatures are really cold. I would have a hard time making fire blight occur. If we go to Niagara, Appleton, similar type thing. Says, oh, can't possibly even have bloom yet. Sort of closer to the Chasey scenario. Well, that's it for fire blight. Check back with us on Wednesday, Thursday for the pink. I guess Thursday's the pink meeting. I'll probably do some forecast videos then as well. Maybe I'll do it on Wednesday because of the impending May 2nd rain. We want to see how things are developing. All right. Have a good one.